Well, if you're going to chop wood, you have to have an axe, you have to have something. This is an axe. This, I believe, they call a boy's axe because it's way smaller. And then this would be a hatchet. And this is a splitting maul. It's way thick and heavy. So you can get a swing on it and split through wood. And then the other thing we have is wedges. I call this a splitting wedge, and this, you can use this as a splitting wedge too, but I think this could be a wedge for falling trees. This works really well for splitting wood. So I can just use this alone and get a big swing on this wood, or hoping that women will want to split wood too. It's much easier for women and weak old men like me to use a splitting wedge. So the one thing you want to know is how to read your wood in order to split it. You see this knot right here and this knot right here? You don't want to split down in through that knot or that one. These knots only go to the center of the wood. So you're better off to split across this way so that you're not splitting into either one of those. And it's best to go to one side rather than go in the center. I find that anyway. And then just start that in there. You don't have to swing really hard. Just keep tapping it like that. See how easy that is? Now if we'd have tried to split through that knot, it would have been a different story. So here I'm just going to use this. You don't have to swing real hard. It depends on what kind of wood it is, really. Just a couple of licks like that. And see, I split down the side of this knot. There's a little bit left on this even. You don't want to try to split through knots, but down the side of them you can. So we'll show you on this piece here too. This is alder and so is this. Alder splits pretty easy anyway. Now this has got 3 knots. Actually there's 4. So once again we're not going to split through these knots. We're going to pick a spot in between. And again, I can split this with this alone, but it's much more work to pull this all the way back and do that as opposed to just doing this. Just like that. You can use, if you don't have a splitting wedge, you can use an axe or a hatchet. Here's another piece that's got knots on it. For the most part, you don't want to split through there. You want to split through here, and you can just use your axe like this. Small pieces of wood obviously are easier to split than really big pieces of wood. Let's look at this piece here. See, there's a knot right here. You don't want to split through that, just go off to one side. I don't know what kind of wood this is. I got it off the beach. We're just going to split like that right there. And if sometimes you run into trouble splitting it, even if you are going through a notch, you can lay this down and put this in the crack on this end and go like that. So it's much easier than you think it is. It's just using a tool and knowing how to use it. It takes a lot more effort to be swinging a maul like this than it does to use that wedge.